this should be turned off, right? The bat, you put it
Yeah,
on
we're
the
going.
setting.
We're going.
Okay. Welcome. This first little snippet here, we're not even going to call it an episode because should be just super fast.
This is the intro to the podcast. This is like the beginning of the whole thing.
This is just the, what do they call it when you do the housekeeping?
This is the preamble.
Okay.
The preface?
So, this podcast, well, first, I guess we should say who we are. I am Shaylee/Shay.
I'm Charles, but I go by Chuck, but Shaylee hates
He
calling
doesn't
me Chuck.
go by Chuck in my... We have been married for 8 years. Just turned 8 years a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And we've been through a lot in our short 8 years. Not everything. There's definitely things we haven't been through.
But we've been through some shit.
We thought it would be a good idea to have a space, as the intro says, to basically talk about anything and anything and everything in marriage. Because, so how this all started was many moons ago when I still was on Facebook. There was a couple Facebook groups. They started as one, and now they have a couple different ones like that are more niche to certain things. But it started out as this Facebook page called Wives Anonymous, where women, and it was only women that are on it. It still exists, and you could ask any question you wanted. There's a couple things they put in their disclaimer that you can't talk about, but it's not very many things. So you would submit a question, and it's all anonymous, and then the moderators they post the questions on the page, and then it's just free for all for people to comment. There was just some wild stuff on there. You'd get some regular things, people just asking, questions about, I just had a baby and what do I do for this? Or we want to move to this area. What would you recommend? But then there was just like some wild stuff. And it was our favorite tradition, and I am not the only wife that did this, because all my friends said they did the same
you're gonna get kicked out of your little
thing.
club.
That's okay. I'm not on it anyways anymore. But I would love to find the really juicy ones, talking about husbands or whatever, and Charles would come home from work, and I would read it to him and just get his reaction to it, get his male perspective on it all. We had this idea a couple of years ago to create this podcast, and it just didn't go well. I don't think we were in the right space yet to do it. We didn't really have great equipment. We were doing it on our phones, weren't we?
No, we were doing it on were doing it on that microphone that you're using over there.
So, yeah, it didn't work well. And now we're in a much better space where we've got a lot of good equipment. I feel like...
Well, even we're in a better place in our relationship.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is like,
screw the equipment. Like,
yeah.
We actually like hanging out with each other now.
But not even that, but just like, I don't know. I think that was like 3 years ago. We've grown a lot since then. Anyways, and so now we're ready to do it. And it's essentially the same thing, but obviously for marriage. Everybody's invited. So how this works is you can submit questions if you want to do a funny story, anything that you want to share. There's a form that you can fill out on our Instagram page, which is marriage_anonymous_. And it's linked right in the profile. You just click on it, and it says in the description, but it's completely anonymous even to me and Charles. Like, we can't see who it is. But I mean, if it's easier to just like DM us, you can also email us. The email that we've set up is marriageanony right? There's no
Yep,
underscores.
marriage, ANONNY.
At Gmail. And like, go subscribe to the Instagram because the plan is to do a lot of interacting there as far as like doing polls
Yeah,
and just like stuff on stories. Like there might be things that we want to share there that we don't want to
that's
share
our jam.
here. So yeah.
Shaylee's on Instagram all day, and I'm on Instagram literally all day
Which you will
with
hear
a
about.
capital A, and it drives me insane, and I hate it. I hate keeping up with Instagram.
You'll hear all about that in the first real episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, so go follow us there and just like let's have fun. Like we just want to laugh, but we can also like we're down to do serious stuff too. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Cuz like we said, we've been through a lot of really hard stuff and we feel like we have some insight and whatever. So you can be anything. If you need advice on something, if you want to tell a funny story, there'll also be themes, like, when different things are happening.
And if you have a question about anything, I'm a pro at Googling stuff. Shaylee, not so much. She's not a very good Googler.
I'm a great medical Googler.
Yeah, but not the same. Don't take your medical advice from Google. That's all I'm gonna say. You'll freak yourself out. You'll never leave your house. Like you'll think asteroids are gonna hit the Earth, and
this is taking a turn.
I take turns.
So yeah, that's basically it. We are also parents, and also like we have some niche things. We are parents of a wonderful 6-year-old daughter who has autism. Charles technically has
autism. Asperger's.
Has,
I'm on the spectrum, but I'm not.
It's nothing.
I just get weird about some stuff, but
meaning is if you for some reason niche wise you have questions about dealing with kids with special needs, a partner with maybe some difficulties, like we got some good stuff. So
yeah. Shaylee's role in all this is going to be she sees the whole spectrum of colors. I only see things, there's no gray for me. I see things in black and white. That's where my Asperger shows.
That is your Asperger.
That is, my Asperger shows, and I can only see, situations in black and white thinking. There is no gray area. And we'll get into that later, but
so make sure you subscribe to the podcast. If you like it when it continues, please give us a rating. That's how you can really help out the podcast, is always give a rating. And tell your friends, tell your married friends,
tell your unmarried friends so that they can know what the hell they're getting into.
And just like, let's just have some fun. That's what I'm looking for in 2021. It's just a good time.
Yeah, 2020 sucked.
We all know
no
that.
fun. No fun.
So, yeah, keep listening and let's do the thing.